Step 1. Confidence and presence angle. Walk like a leader. Confidence and presence are not about being loud, flashy, or trying to impress people. Real confidence is quiet, controlled, and grounded. It shows in how you carry yourself, your posture, your pace, your eye contact, and even your silence. When someone walks like a leader, they're communicating something powerful without saying a single word. I know who I am, and I'm in control. Presence is what people feel when you enter a space. It's your energy. You don't need attention, but attention naturally comes to you. Why? Because humans are wired to notice certainty. When someone moves with calmness and intention, it signals strength, clarity, and stability. Why confidence in movement matters. Before you even speak, people already form an impression of you. This is based on body language, how you walk, stand, and move. If you walk fast and nervous, you look unsure. If you walk slow but relaxed, you look in control. If you avoid eye contact, you seem insecure. If you stand straight, you show authority. Your body is always talking, even when your mouth is not. That's why walking like a leader is powerful. It's a nonverbal signal of self-respect and belief. The psychology behind it. People naturally follow those who look like they know what they're doing. Confidence triggers. Trust. People feel safe around certainty. Respect. You look like someone who values themselves. Influence. Others are more likely to listen or follow. Even if you're not perfect or still figuring things out, how you present yourself can change how others treat you. If you don't look like you believe in yourself, why would others believe in you? Why you should develop this? 1. You gain immediate advantage. In school, work, or business, people notice presence first. Sometimes confidence matters more than skill at the beginning. 2. It builds internal confidence. Acting confident actually trains your mind to become confident. Your body influences your mindset, not just the other way around. 3. It opens opportunities. People are more likely to approach, trust, or work with you. You stand out without trying too hard. 4. It reduces fear and anxiety. When you control your body, your emotions follow. Calm movements get calmer mind. What walking like a leader looks like. Real traits. Straight posture, shoulders back, head level. Steady pace, not rushed, not lazy. Relaxed face, no tension, no overthinking. Every step has direction. Eye contact when needed, not forced. It's not arrogance, it's controlled confidence. You don't become a leader the moment people follow you. You become a leader the moment you start carrying yourself like one. Because before people listen to your words, they first read your presence. So, if you want to change how people see you, start with how you walk, move, and show up every day. Step 2. Discipline and consistency angle. Walk like a leader. Discipline and consistency are what separate people who talk about change from people who actually become change. In the context of walk like a leader, this angle is not about how you look for a moment, it's about how you show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. A leader's walk is not random. It reflects a lifestyle built on repetition, structure, and self-control. It shows that the person isn't controlled by mood or motivation, but by principle. Why discipline is the real foundation. Motivation is unstable. It comes and goes depending on emotions, environment, and energy. But discipline is stable. It stays even when everything else drops. Motivation says, I feel like doing it. Discipline says, I will do it anyway. A person who walks like a leader doesn't depend on feelings, they depend on standards. That's why their movement looks controlled, steady, and intentional. It reflects an internal system, not emotional reaction. Consistency builds identity. What you repeat becomes who you are. If you repeatedly show up early, finish what you start, practice daily improvement, keep promises to yourself, then over time, you don't just do disciplined actions, you become a disciplined person. Consistency is powerful because it builds identity silently. Nobody sees every effort, but everyone sees the result of repetition. A leader is not made in one big moment. A leader is built in small, repeated actions that no one claps for. Why this matters in real life. 1. Discipline creates reliability. People trust those who are consistent. If you show up every time, people start depending on you. 2. It removes emotional weakness. You stop being controlled by laziness or mood swings. You act based on purpose, not feelings. 3. It compounds results. Small actions done daily create massive long-term outcomes. 1 hour daily becomes 365 hours a year of progress. 4. It builds silent confidence. When you know you don't quit easily, you stop doubting yourself. Confidence becomes evidence-based, not emotional. How it connects to walking like a leader. A disciplined person walks differently. No rushing because they are not lost. No hesitation because they are not uncertain. No distraction because they are focused. No chaos because their life has structure. Even their walk reflects order. You can see it in steady rhythm, calm movement, focused direction. It's not about style, it's about control over self. The hard truth behind discipline. Most people don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are inconsistent. They start strong, then slow down, then stop, then restart again. Walking like a leader is not a moment, it is a pattern. Discipline makes your actions predictable in a powerful way. People can expect you to improve, not disappear. Consistency turns small effort into identity and identity into leadership. Step 3. Vision and purpose angle. Vision and purpose are the foundation of every meaningful life direction. Without them, effort becomes random, progress feels empty, and success, if it comes often, doesn't feel satisfying. This angle is about understanding why you are doing what you are doing and where you ultimately want your life to go, not just in terms of money or status, but in terms of identity, impact, and fulfillment. A vision is your long-term mental picture of the future you want to create. It is not just a goal, it is a direction. For example, saying I want to earn money is a goal, but saying I want to build a life where I have financial freedom, time control, and the ability to help others through valuable digital tools is a vision. Vision gives structure to your decisions, it filters distractions, and helps you choose what is worth your time and what is not. A strong vision acts like a compass. Even when you feel lost, tired, or uncertain, it pulls you back to your direction. Without it, it's easy to get influenced by trends, other people's expectations, or short-term pleasures that don't align with your real growth. Purpose, on the other hand, is the emotional and internal reason behind your vision. It answers the question, why does this matter to me personally? Purpose is what keeps you going when motivation disappears. It is deeper than goals and stronger than discipline alone because it connects your actions to meaning. Why vision and purpose matter. 1. They eliminate confusion. When you have no clear vision, every opportunity looks important. You jump from idea to idea without real progress. Vision simplifies decisions by asking, does this move me closer to where I want to be? 2. They protect you from quitting too early. Hard times are inevitable. Without purpose, struggle feels like a sign to stop. With purpose, struggle becomes part of the process. You don't interpret difficulty as failure, you interpret it as growth. 3. They turn effort into direction, not just activity. Many people are busy but not progressing. Vision transforms activity into meaningful progress because every action has alignment with a bigger picture. 4. They create emotional resilience. When your purpose is strong, external conditions matter less. You stop depending on motivation or validation because your reason is internal. 5. They give identity to your actions. You don't just do things, you become someone. For example, not just a worker, but a builder, not just a viewer, but a creator, not just someone earning, but someone designing systems for long-term value. Vision gives you direction. Purpose gives you reason. Together, they give you endurance. Step for influence and responsibility angle. The influence and responsibility angle is about understanding that everything you do, your actions, words, and even your consistency affects other people in some way. Influence is not only about being famous or having followers. It's about the ability to shape thinking, behavior, and decisions of others, even in small or indirect ways. Responsibility is the awareness that this influence must be handled carefully, intentionally, and ethically. At its core, this angle teaches that you are always influencing something or someone, whether you realize it or not. Even when you think you are just living your life, people around you are observing your habits, reactions, discipline, and mindset. This is especially true in today's digital world where content, opinions, and behavior can spread quickly and reach people beyond your immediate environment. What influence really means? Influence is not limited to leadership positions or large audiences. It exists in everyday life. A friend who copies your habits, a viewer who learns from your content, a younger person who looks up to your behavior, even strangers who see your posts or actions online. This means influence is already present in your life. You don't need permission for it. The real question is whether your influence is intentional or what responsibility means in this context. Responsibility is the awareness that influence carries consequences. When people are affected by what you do or say, you are partly responsible for the direction that impact takes. For example, if you create motivational content, your responsibility is not just to entertain or gain views, but to ensure that your message encourages growth, discipline, and realistic thinking, not false hope or unrealistic expectations. Responsibility also means being consistent with what you promote. If you speak about discipline but act carelessly in your own habits, your influence becomes weak or misleading. People don't only listen to words, they observe behavior. Why this angle matters? 1. It builds awareness of your impact. Many people underestimate how much they affect others. Once you understand influence, you become more mindful of your actions because you realize they extend beyond yourself. 2. It improves personal discipline. When you know others are observing you, even indirectly, you become more responsible with your habits. You start acting in a way that reflects the identity you want to represent. 3. It strengthens credibility. Influence without responsibility leads to inconsistency. But when your actions match your message, people trust you more. Trust is the foundation of long-term influence. 4. It prevents misuse of power. Even small influence can be used negatively, spreading misinformation, promoting unrealistic lifestyles, or encouraging unhealthy comparison. Responsibility ensures that influence is used to build, not destroy. Step 5. Resilience and pressure angle. Resilience under pressure is the ability to stay steady, functional, and focused even when life feels overwhelming, uncertain, or demanding. It is not about avoiding stress, it is about learning how to operate inside it without breaking down or giving up. Pressure is unavoidable in any meaningful pursuit. Whether it comes from deadlines, expectations, competition, financial struggles, or personal setbacks, pressure is basically the cost of progress. The higher your goals, the heavier the pressure becomes. What separates people who grow from those who quit is not talent alone, but how they respond when that pressure builds up. Resilience is the internal structure that holds you together in those moments. It's built through repeated exposure to difficulty, where instead of escaping problems, you learn to face them, adjust, and keep moving. Over time, pressure stops being something that destroys you and becomes something that sharpens you. It trains your decision-making, emotional control, and patience. From a justification standpoint, resilience matters because real growth is never linear. There will always be setbacks, failures, delays, and unexpected obstacles. Without resilience, every problem feels like a stopping point. With resilience, problems become part of the process. Pressure also reveals character. When things are easy, anyone can appear disciplined or motivated. But under stress, habits are exposed. That's why resilience is often considered more important than motivation. It doesn't rely on feeling good. It relies on commitment and mental endurance. In practical terms, resilient people don't necessarily feel less pressure than others. The difference is they interpret pressure differently. Instead of seeing it as a signal to quit, they see it as a sign that what they are doing actually matters. Pressure becomes feedback, not a threat. Ultimately, resilience under pressure is what allows long-term success. Skills can be learned, opportunities can be found, but without the ability to withstand stress and continue forward, those advantages don't last.